I, Dave Escobar, Vice Chair of the Board of Health, convene the Oxford Board of Health meeting today, August 9th, at 5:03 p.m. Okay. First order of business is the reorganization of the board members. Every year, as terms expire, we need to reorganize. Unfortunately, our chair is not able to be with us tonight, so we're going to table that discussion until the next meeting, when hopefully we'll have the full board here to do our reorganization. Okay. Next, we have the approval of the minutes for July the 12th and August 2nd. Ian, have you had a chance to review the minutes?
I have.
Any comments?
No.
Then I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for July 12th.
Dave, if you wouldn't mind when you say that, just say your name and everything.
Okay.
Please.
All right. I, Dave Escobar, Vice Chair of the Board of Health, will entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the Board of Health meetings on July 12th and August the 2nd.
I make the motion as stated. I, Dina Costa, make the motion as stated.
I, Dave Escobar, second the motion. Any discussion, further discussion?
I just noticed that I was not present at the August 2nd meeting. I just noticed that.
Okay. So I will amend the motion to approve the minutes for the Board of Health meeting on July the 12th. I'll entertain a motion.
Dina Costa, member, make the motion as stated.
Dave Escobar, second the motion. Any further discussion?
No.
Then I'll call for the vote.
Yes.
Yes. Being that I'm the only member who was present tonight and was present for the August 2nd meeting, we'll defer that until the next meeting when we can have, hopefully the chair will be available. Okay. Next order of business is to appoint a member and an alternate for the IMA Shared Services Board. This is the board for the intermunicipal agreement that we will be signing, that we have already voted on actually, and the Board of Selectmen has approved, and with their vote this last Selectmen's meeting, but we need to appoint a member of the board to go to the quarterly oversight board meetings and an alternate.
Dave, I wasn't at this meeting where we voted on the 2nd.
Yeah.
So I heard Ally at one of the meetings talk about what this entailed somewhat.
Yeah, so what this entails,
My questions are about the meeting. I don't know if you know more about that.
the oversight board meeting or the
Quarterly
or the
meeting.
whole quarterly meeting? Yeah, so the oversight board is responsible for overseeing the employees of the agreement, for developing a budget, managing the finances, and essentially handling the business end of what this agreement is going to provide for us. The agreement itself is a three-year grant, which will provide inspection services on to augment our existing inspection services on an as-needed basis, without charge, without cost to the town. So the board would be responsible, the oversight board, as I said, is responsible for the host community is going to manage the employees directly, but the oversight board would be involved in hiring and replacements if as needed. Also, the fiscal issues and maintaining a budget.
And the host is Webster?
The host community is Webster.
Is that where the meetings are? Does anybody know?
I don't know exactly at the moment where the meetings are, but I would expect that they would be in Webster since they're directly responsible.
Okay.
And I mean, maybe they'll revolve through the member communities. I don't know.
So we need a
We need a board member to participate on the oversight board,
and an alternate.
and we need an alternate. So,
And we do need to vote on that this evening because CMRPC has requested that we have both so that, because they're going to start the review and voting in
Okay.
process for.
I'm happy to be an alternate. I don't know, is Ally able to go on our behalf? I mean, she's brought this to the board.
yeah, I normally I would say yes, but
Yeah.
this is pretty specific, and it says that a board member has to be on the oversight board
I think with
and an
the
alternate.
situation right now, I think somebody else needs to step in at this point.
So I'm willing to
Okay.
be the board member if you're willing to be the alternate.
Sure.
And I
Okay.
think that, and I'm sure we can make changes to it as needed in the future, but just to establish ourselves and move the process forward.
Yeah.
Start here.
So if you could make an official vote, please.
Yeah, so I, Dave Esquire, Vice Chair of the Board of Health of Oxford, will entertain a motion to appoint myself, Dave Escobar, as the board member, a board member from the participating community of Oxford to the South Central Massachusetts Partnership for Public Health, and Dina Costa as the alternate.
Dina Costa, member, make the motion as stated.
Dave Escobar, I second the motion. Any further discussion?
No?
I'll call for the vote.
Yes?
Yes. Okay. Next order of business is a planning board special permit site plan that was sent for our review and comment, for the Board of Health review and comment. This will turn the former law offices into a bed and breakfast at 275 Main Street. I don't know if you've had a chance to review this.
I do. I think I have it on my phone. You can continue.
Okay. It's, Steve, have you had a chance to review this?
I have not.
Okay. It's not clear to me whether there's sewage available or whether it's a private septic system. A lot of the, looks like some of the information is well, those specifics are absent. As I said, this is sent for our information and comment. The Board of Health doesn't need to take any action on this. But if we had comments, are you aware of this at all? Have you? Okay, all right. So it looks like the back lot of 275 Main Street, which has a building on it, will be converted to a bed and breakfast, or that's the application.
Excuse me, Vice Chair, just to let you know, the town planner, Tony Sousa, is here this evening, so if you would
okay.
like him to speak on this behalf, you can.
Yeah,
come on up.
Tony, do you have information on this special permit?
I don't have any information on the septic, no. But
Okay.
I'm happy to provide a general overview.
Yeah, would you?
Sure.
I'd appreciate that.
Maureen, you didn't send us anything on this, did you?
No,
Email?
just got it in.
Oh, okay. I don't have it.
So, Tony Sousa, town planner.
And so this project was filed with the planning board, and as you say, Mr. Chairman, it's currently before the planning board for site plan review and seeking comments from the various departments and committees and commissions. So it is a two-lot parcel with the rear parcel being converted, the rear structure, the carriage house, into 2 units for a bed and breakfast. And there is 8 parking spaces. There is a easement for travel, for access to the rear lot. The rear lot was originally all under 275 Main Street. It was divided, let's say, a year or so ago via an A&R. I don't have any, of course, I don't have any information relative to septic, but otherwise, as I understand too, by looking at the narrative, they will also, if I may, so there will be 2 guest apartment suites available for rental in the carriage house, 1 on each floor respectively, and will hold no more than 6 guests in total. Each floor will have 1 full bath, 1 bedroom, living lounge space, and a kitchen. There will be separate entrances for both units, and both units have 2 entrances, exits for use. The applicant noted that minimal construction remodel is requested as the upper unit top floor is already fully equipped. The bottom unit, the lower floor, which was previously a law office, needs to have kitchen installed and 2 half baths converted into 1 full bath by adding a shower basin. There will be minimal to no demolition, as no structural changes are being requested, and the kitchen placement is requested where there is an open available space. Would also note in their description that as part of the program, if you will, as I understand, during the weekends, guests, or they're requesting that guests be invited to the main house for breakfast. And that is just a comment too to that. Our building commissioner and the rest will be looking at that also to ensure that it's compliant with
I didn't
code.
see that in here. Maybe I overlooked it. Okay.
Otherwise, Mr. Chairman, that's all that I have. I just wanted to provide an overview for this project, and happy if there's any other questions.
Dina, any questions?
No, thank you.
Great,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, yeah, I think my only concern would be that if they are gonna have people into the main house to serve food, that they have the proper permits to do so. So, other than that, I don't have any comments at this time, but I think we'll reserve the right to come back with comments.
Absolutely.
Later in the process.
And, excuse me, Vice Chair, would you also like Mr. Donatelli to review the septic file to?
Yes,
receive-
just to establish what we're looking at there. Not that I think the occupancy is that much higher than it was, but
Thank you.
the next, we're ready to go forward?
Yes.
Okay. Next order of business was the mission statement for the Board of Health. A mission statement was required as part of the application process to the intermunicipal agreement that created the South Central Massachusetts Partnership for Public Health that we entered into with Webster as the host community. Our Director of Public Health has created a mission statement, and we're currently reviewing it, but I think we're going to table that approval of that mission statement until the entire board can be present. Okay. 3 Walter Drive, revised details regarding wetlands.
3 Walters.
So we looked at this last meeting, I believe, right? This was so this is totally different. Okay. This is Walters Drive. There's the house. Carport is a carport and a garage, and then the house.
Okay.
So I think we had asked why this meeting.
So this is where the septic system is now. It's been moved.
I don't think we had this last time to say.
Is there anyone here to represent 3 Walters? Yeah, can you come forward?
Good evening.
Hi.
Hello.
Richard Chafee.
Richard. So, so the local upgrade requests are now reduction in groundwater separation from 4 feet to 3 feet, and that's all. And you've moved the system to a conforming location, and that's the only.
The system has been moved to the furthest location that can be designed from the wetlands.
Okay.
Since the last meeting, the board asked that the right side of the house have the wetlands delineated. The firm that they hired to delineate those wetlands also redelineated the left side of the house, which pushed the wetland line closer to the system, which now made the left side of the house not conforming to place a septic system on that side.
Okay.
So they were kind of forced to put it where it is on the right, which is the maximum distance they can get from the wetlands.
Okay.
It's it's over 50 feet, which is the minimum.
So that means, okay.
All right. So the only upgrade requested is the reduction from groundwater from 4 feet to 3 feet. All right, I think that's all I see here on
That was the only one that was,
I believe that's it.
yeah, that's the only one that was requested.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. All right.
And that's actually 4 feet, excuse me, that was 4 foot reduction to 2 foot reduction. The Elgin system is approved through the state for a 2 foot reduction to groundwater under remedial use.
Okay.
Which this falls under.
This says 3 foot.
On the plan, I believe just reviewed it and I was pretty sure it was 2. They actually designed it to. It is.
So
So the handwritten portion, I was in and I copied it off the other plan, so I'll just change that if you don't
Yes.
mind, just to from 4 to 2.
do we have an application that says 2? Can I have the rest of that?
Yes, you have it, yeah, Lorraine? I have it. It does state 2 feet.
Okay.
They are requesting a 2 foot separation to groundwater. Let's see it?
Yeah, please.
Sure. At the top here. That's no separation reduction.
Okay. 2 feet. And because of the special configuration of the system, that's allowable.
Yeah, it's an Elgin system, and the Elgin is approved through the state for remedial use for 2 foot separation.
Okay. And the plan calls out the Elgin system?
Yes,
I think I saw it on the
that's
right.
it. The bottom also, which is the units, and the profile also states it.
Okay, can you show me? Sorry. I'm picking it up right.
A42, that's Elgin. I did see it.
Did you see it?
I thought I saw it on the right. I can't see from here.
Septic system.
A42.
So right where it says bottom of units elevation, and just below that, it shows high groundwater elevation, and then the unit elevation.
It states 842. 842 is Elgin.
That's correct.
How is it referred to in the code? Is it referred to as an Elgin system in the code or an A42 system?
It's 842 Elgin. There's two different types of units for Elgin. It's an 8042 and 43.
Okay. And so identification as A42
Yes,
completely describes the unit and is in compliance with the code?
it's correct.
Okay. Okay.
If it's in compliance with the code, but they're requesting a
Yeah,
variance.
the system's in compliance with the requirements for a system that'll allow us to go down.
Yeah,
to
this
2 feet.
Elgin system, it's approval through the state.
Oh, through the state,
It's
okay.
allowed to have 2-foot separation for repair or remedial use.
So for a normal system, we can only go down 3 feet, but for special systems,
Yes.
we can
A
go
couple
down
different
further.
systems, and this is one of them that approved a 2-foot separation.
Okay,
That was-
that one's ours.
Oh,
I
yeah, that's
think.
yours. I think
And
I-
that's yours.
Yes. Thanks, Dave.
Okay.
You want to read off this, the date and everything?
Yeah. Would you want to modify this
Sure.
and date it and sign it?
Sure. I was able to just make that 2 into a 3, I mean a 3 into a 2.
Just,
pretty nice, and I
date
dated
it.
it right there.
Sign it, okay. Okay, thank you. Okay.
And the only other thing I'll add is that we're on the agenda for the conservation on the 18th.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I guess
so-
if you approve, it'll be contingent upon
Absolutely.
approval of, yeah.
Okay, so Dave Escobar, Vice Chair of the Board of Health, will entertain a motion to approve the request for an upgrade on the property at 3 Walters Drive, Oxford, Mass, submitted on a print received August 9th, 2021. Drawn by John Thomasian, P.E. of North Brookfield, Massachusetts, for a reduction in separation from groundwater from 4 feet to 2 feet based on an Elgin A42 septic system conforming to the code for the additional reduction.
Dina Costa, member, make the motion as stated.
I'm going to amend my motion
Oh.
to approve. I'm going to amend the motion to approve based on approval by the Conservation Commission.
Sure.
Dina Costa, member, and make the motion as stated.
I second the motion. Dave Escobar, second the motion. Any further discussion?
No.
That being the case, I'll call for the vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for making those modifications.
That's all right. Thank you.
Next order of business is 16 Ballard Street. 16 Ballard Street. So there are 2 waivers requested for 16 Ballard Street. One is a reduction in setback from the water line from 10 feet to 6.7 feet, and a waiver for reduction in setback from the foundation to the leach field from 10 feet to 8.7 feet.
So this is existing. And
And so is anybody else here? Steve? Yeah, please come forward. Steve, you reviewed this?
I did review that.
Okay.
In my opinion, that's the best location. The existing plumbing's coming up the front, and they would have issues with their reduction setbacks, even if they put it in the backyard. That would mean crossing the driveway and the water line with the plumbing.
Is this a new system or is this a repair?
It falls under repair, but it's going to be a replacement of the whole system.
And this is the location of the old system at this time?
Basically, yes, in the front yard.
Okay.
yeah, there's a pool back here. So.
Yeah, there's not a lot of other places it can go.
Water line, leach field to the foundation. It's just over a foot.
So it says a setback from the water line. Which water are we talking about?
The water service.
Water
of the
service.
Water
I have a-
service. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Code is 10 feet.
So I also proposed a 40 mil impervious barrier between the septic tank and the water line as well. That's what that dashed dock line is, to give a little more protection. Because I can't meet the 10 foot, I added that 40 mil impervious barrier.
Okay.
I
There we
think that
go.
means that,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. You have any other questions?
No.
I'm just gonna slide this back. Okay. Very well. Okay, I think, so, I, Dave Escobar, Vice Chair of the Board of Health, will entertain a motion to approve the two requested upgrade approvals. One for a reduction in setback from the water line from 10 feet to 6.7, and one for a setback reduction from the foundation to the leach field of 8.7 feet from 10 feet. As proposed for 16 Ballard Street, Oxford, Mass, as submitted by Summit Engineering, received by the Board of Health on July 13th, 2021.
Dina Costa, member, just amend the motion to say that the setback between the water line is to the septic tank. And otherwise I make the motion as stated.
Okay. So I'll amend the motion for the waiver, the setback from the water line to the septic tank of 6.7 instead of 10 feet, and for the setback from the foundation to the leach field of 8.7 instead of 10 feet.
We're gonna make the motion again?
Yes.
Okay, Dina Costa, member, I make the motion as stated.
Second the motion.
And I did, Vice Chair, I did spell it out in the notes that I just gave you, so it's up to you if you wanted to go by that. for
Okay, well, we'll
Accurate.
do better next time.
No problem. Just let you know.
Uh,
You know.
Any further discussion?
No,
I'll call for the vote.
yes.
Yes.
Then another on Ballard. 18.
Next is 18 Ballard Street. size piece of property.
Wow, John.
Same issue. Water line. This is. So the dotted line with the curved corners is the 40 mil barrier?
Correct.
Okay.
Right up against the water line.
So slab to this tank, slab to the leach field.
So the tank is an existing tank, or that's a new tank?
The existing tank is in the front yard. It's going to be relocated to the side yard because we have, if you look at the plan, there's two inverts leaving that house. One on the left-hand side of the house and one in the front. So we felt that putting the septic tank in that location made shorter runs, so it would have less, because the problem is that existing line coming from the side gets blocked a lot because of all the turns. So it gets clogged, so it backs up into the house. So we felt that the two straight shots are better than going around the curve. So that's why we put the septic tank where it is.
Okay. So requesting a setback from the slab to the tank of 4.2 feet.
right in
Setback
the-
from the slab to the leach field of 6.4. It's there. Waiver for the separation to groundwater 3 instead of 4. Waiver for the leach field to the right of way to be 6 instead of 10. So the right of way is, it's gonna be here. So this is, so the right of way is the street.
Correct. Yep. It's right near the test pit. On the left-hand side of the test pit, there's a 6 feet.
Yeah, I see it.
Yep.
And from the leach field to the water line of 6.3 instead of 10.
Instead of 10.
And Steve, you reviewed this?
I have.
Approved?
I do.
Okay.
It's the best case scenario for this property.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Any other questions, Steve? I'll entertain a motion to approve the local upgrade for the property at 18 Ballard Street for a reduction in setback from the leach field to the slab of 6.4 feet from 10, a reduction in setback from the leach field to the right of way to 6 feet rather than 10, a reduction in the setback of the septic tank to the slab of 4.4 feet instead of 10, a reduction in the setback of the leach field to the water line of 6.3 feet instead of 10, and a reduction in separation between the SAS and high groundwater of 3 feet from 4 feet. On the plan submitted by Summit Engineering and Survey Inc., received by the Board of Health July 15th, 2021.
Dina Costa, member, will make the motion as stated.
Dave Escobar, Vice Chair, second the motion. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Then I'll call for the vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright. Next order of business is number 2
It's not here.
Fair Lawn Avenue.
It's back.
We really can't have the meeting then.
What's that?
Next on the agenda. The representative's not here yet.
And the doors are unlocked this time.
Okay. I thought there was someone here for number 2 Fair Lawn.
This is a resident with a butter.
A butter.
Okay. Okay.
Is there any reason not to proceed with discussion?
Have you reviewed the plans?
I have reviewed the plans. It's there's a lot to it.
I got a lot of questions.
Yes, there's a lot of questions to be answered. I think the engineer probably be best to answer those questions.
Okay.
I don't have a full grasp on what the property is currently being used for, and I know it's being proposed, or they'd like to have proposed.
Yeah. It
And,
seems like a large increase in the
It is.
occupancy.
It is.
And the numbers that I saw on the flow rates seemed like it exceeds even the two systems proposed.
It does. I don't know what's
match.
currently there. It's a very small system that's currently
Sorry.
there.
Yeah.
And I know the system that's there now is most likely well undersized for what they're using, the use of the building.
Yeah. I guess
As well with
it said the literature, it said it's 440 gallons per day right now, and they want to go up to 1145. But they want to
Yes,
do it by
I
putting
mean,
in an additional 660.
I don't even know, because there's a barber shop and a tattoo parlor, I guess, was in that building. And I don't know how many seats, and that's how you design the flow. So I don't know how many seats were in those facilities, those two businesses. So I don't really know what the building was currently producing, the flow. But it's definitely going to be an increase.
Yeah, I think we'll need a representative here to go through all the concerns. But I do want to give anyone who came to speak on this matter a chance to be heard. If you'd like to
I just was,
take a seat and just tell us your name and.
Oh, my name is Cheryl Darling. I bought the property and I'm right behind it. So I've got probably 2 feet or so before, the back of the building. And I was just curious on, everything they want to put in there. Do they have the room to do it? It's pretty tight. I mean, that building basically sits on the lot. I mean, it's a tight squeeze. I just don't want any issues on my property. I'm real close, so that was my...
Yes, I don't think there's really be any concern for the septic system, just regarding the septic system, not other issues. But as far as the flow from the facility that's being proposed, I think the biggest issue is probably nitrogen loading, which is, speaking of, Pete can probably take it from there. We just started the meeting for Fairlawn.
Gotcha.
So the question is right now, Pete, is
Take a moment, set up your
Yeah.
stuff, sign in,
Sure.
and then we can move forward. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, is this the plan? So this is existing.
Right. Yep. All right. Yeah. So basically, an expansion with the hopes of converting office space into apartments and one of the retail spaces into a small pizza-style restaurant.
The
You said apartments, is it 2?
So there's 2 office spaces on the second floor. They'd want to turn those into 2 separate 2-bedroom apartments.
2 2-bedroom apartments.
So the total design flow proposed for the septic system is 1,145 gallons per day, but then the 2 systems that are proposed to be put in are a 440 and a 660, which only gets you to 1,100.
So the existing system has a capacity of 340. The proposed new leach field would have a capacity of 838.
838.
So the total provided is 1190.
The 660 is what is approved for a fast system for nitrogen
Nitrogen
load
loading.
reduction.
Okay. So I'm not sure what I'm looking at then, because what I have here says existing and proposed flows.
This is your letter, Steve, that we're
Line,
looking at.
existing
Yeah.
proposed
Your,
flows.
your comments. 440, exceed 440, and then fast system allows 660.
'Cause not the whole system is the fast.
I state that the existing and proposed flows exceed 440 gallons per acre. That's what's allowed under Title V. With a nitrogen reduction for a fast system, it's allowed to go up to 660 gallons per acre. Now, this is still well
Per day,
exceeding
per acre.
per acre.
And now we're talking about doubling that to
Yes.
1145, 1190.
Right.
And
And
that's
the
using
site,
systems at their absolute limit.
right, and the site is a third of an acre. So it's impossible to meet that nitrogen loading. I mean, as it is now, the system already exceeds the nitrogen loading for that site. I think most of the properties in that area of town exceed that nitrogen loading limit. Again, it's all grandfathered stuff, but it's a commercial building allowed to have 300 gallons a day. Doesn't really leave them a lot of opportunity to get tenants, The building was built in 1940, I think I saw today.
But
So-
you're converting the use from business use, which would be daily in and out, to residential. Where
Right,
people
well,
be living
yeah.
there.
Some of the units, yeah.
You've reviewed this, right?
I have reviewed this, yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, we're proposing what we can to get what they want,
I guess maybe so essentially we're saying it's not possible to meet the
nitrogen loading.
nitrogen load.
Right. Yeah, for a third of an acre site, they'd only be allowed, if it was a new construction, they'd only be allowed 100 gallons a day.
Gallons.
Lorraine, do you have the application?
The application right here. That's the notes from McClure, and that's their certification for general use. And this one.
I just got to take a moment to review this. Sorry about that. You can have a seat if you like.
Excuse me. I'm Chris McClure, McClure Engineering. I just wanted to ask Steve a question regarding that nitrogen loading requirements.
Yes.
Is that because of the groundwater protection overlay district, or for the Title V? Because this site is served by municipal water, and so therefore that
It's in a
shared
zone
use-
2, I believe this whole center of town's in a zone 2.
So that zone 2 requirement would limit that loading to 660
Yes.
through the state. Does the town have a groundwater? Because I was looking for the groundwater protection overlay district, and I didn't see any verbiage in there that defined that, that limitation for the loading there. Or is it adopted through the state regs?
Well, the state regs require 440 per acre
Right.
maximum
But that's
loading.
if it's shared for water and wastewater.
Wastewater.
Yeah. In this
No.
case, they're on municipal water, so typically the loadings will go away. I'm not limited after once they remove one or the other of those utilities on the site.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I believe the whole center of town here is a zone 2
Right.
area. So that, having it fall within a zone 2
Right.
is the
Yeah.
limitation.
Okay. Yeah, I was just typically I have that, I haven't seen that defined. Like I said, and I didn't know if that was where that loading rate fell into.
Fell into
Yeah.
Zone 2.
Zone 2, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's just, that's all because like I said, I know of this area, specifically downtown, because I've
Yes.
seen other sites. They far exceed, so, and not,
Yes, pretty much the whole, and I don't believe Oxford doesn't have any land set aside for purposes for nitrogen loading.
sure, that they could offset it. on
Yes,
another
somewhere
area.
else.
Yeah,
I don't think that's set up anywhere.
okay. All right.
If you read the second page, the variances standard of review, it kind of gives the criteria needed to grant the variances, because these are all variances that are being requested. Falls under new
Meaning
construction.
that they couldn't use the site for really any other meaningful.
Correct. Does, if you reject this, does this pretty much eliminate all practicable value to the property? That's kind of the criteria you kind of have to look at.
And so,
And you also,
where is that located, Steve?
In his.
I have it on the second page. I have it written down, variances, standard of review.
Sure.
I think it's I don't know, it's a manifest injustice. By not granting that, you take away all practicable value. Now, it's a judgment. I've never seen anywhere where that is stipulated, what that, I don't know if there's any legal,
Definitions or.
yeah,
mean,
definitions to what that really means to
I mean,
precisely.
It's currently perfectly useful for the existing stated purpose, right?
Well, there is a
nothing-
question of the apartment.
It's, I mean, it's,
The barbershop just left, so there's currently no tenants whatsoever.
Okay. And so,
I don't-
barber shop and a tattoo parlor was in there also, I believe,
Just-
but,
yeah.
yes.
So I don't know if that's because they can't find anybody to take it, or I don't know but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of interest in it as is.
In the downtown area, pretty much all these lots are all undersized for what they're being used for.
yeah.
So it's,
So where is this plot located? Is this located across
Right
from
on
the,
Main Street.
right on Main Street, the
Fairlawn,
corner of
across from
Fairlawn.
the service station?
where the liquor store used to be.
Okay, where the liquor store used to be. Okay.
The strip itself actually goes up Fairlawn and not on Main.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
I mean, my general feeling on these issues is that if Steve has hesitancy, I have hesitancy. So I don't know what a nitrogen flow problem means, but I know there's a concern about there being an apartment in use there now, and with no other tenants. I don't know what purpose we would be like giving the variances for.
Right. The biggest
Not even
thing is that they want to do a pizza place. I mean, the apartments, I think, would just be supplemental income to help pay for the building. I know their lawyer sent me their finances of the building. I mean, there's like a $400,000 mortgage on the building. So I think they're just looking for supplemental income to pay for that building.
Do they have tenants ready to go in?
I believe they would be the ones to run the pizza shop. As far as the apartment, I don't know.
And planning hasn't approved any apartments, right?
No, they have not. Nothing
No.
has come forward to the planning board.
So, I mean, generally when we get these, you know, there's somebody living in the house, there's somebody using the bathroom and the kitchen and the bedrooms. And so in this case, it's hard for me to say that we would approve this with all of that other stuff still lingering. All of the other approvals and just the fact that it's empty gives me pause.
Yeah. On the other hand, we are talking about a substantial upgrade to the system that's there now.
That's definite.
So, you know, absent this approval, it'll go back into service as it was with a grossly undersized system. Do we have any precedents for this? For taking this kind of load on that size piece? I know all the Main Street businesses are undersized on their property.
Yes.
Anybody else, have we approved something like this before? I'm not aware of anything.
Nothing that I'm aware of. I know there are businesses on Main Street here, restaurants and such that are on minimum sized properties.
Mm-hmm.
They're functioning. I mean, the one positive is it's all sand, so it drains very well in the center of town here. And putting in a fast system is definitely a upgrade.
But the fast system is not going to take
to what's currently there.
The fast system is in addition to what's there already, or is it instead of what's there already?
In addition to. So
In addition to.
basically the way it would work is I think one of the retail stores and one of the apartments would stay on the old system, and then the rest of it would be, the plumbing would have to be reworked to come to the new, because it would be two separate leach fields, and the fast system would only service one of those leach fields.
So what did you say? An apartment and a business would be on the old
Right.
system? Okay.
There are 4 units existing in that structure,
Right.
and the proposal is to turn 2 of them into apartments and keep 2
So
for.
there's 4 retail stores and 2 offices on the second floor. The 2 offices would be turned into the apartments.
Okay.
And then one of the retail stores would be the restaurant.
And what kind of a load increase? I mean, I don't have a feel for how much more load the restaurant is going to put on the system. The restaurant would be connected to the new system.
Right. There'd be a new grease trap associated with the restaurant, and the restaurant itself. It's based on seats. They said they'd have about 15 seats, more of a to-go kind of pizza place, which is just over 500 gallons a day. I'm not even sure they'd get to that amount if they aren't having people in there, but
Yeah, for that type of establishment, probably be minimal. Probably wouldn't. I'm quite sure that type of establishment wouldn't reach that
right.
type of volume.
I'm inclined to approve it because of the upgrade to the system. I don't know how you feel about that, Dina, but for me, I think 6 businesses on a 340 gallon per day old system is probably more of a load on the land than then the addition of the 660 gallon per day fast system. I mean, how do you feel about that, Steve? You think that's...
I'm in agreement with that part, yes. That way of thinking is, I'm in agreement with.
I mean,
It's gonna be an
there's really
improvement of what's
nothing
currently there.
conforming that can be made on that site, right? This is what I'm getting from our discussion.
Yes.
It's
They
not
put
possible to conform, so,
No.
but this would be a significant upgrade. You'd be increasing the system capacity by 2 times. So you go from 340 to like almost 1,000 gallons per day. From a technology standpoint, is there a different technology that could provide more gallons per day?
I don't believe so. That fast is, it's a good system for these small sites. Gives you a 50% reduction.
I think there's, along with the fast, is one other manufacturer, which it's the same thing.
BioClear, same thing, 50% reduction. It's nothing
only,
that it's greater than that.
It's not no way to put a larger system on there or to.
We could do a larger fast system. The fast systems are kind of, the models are designed based on maximum gallonage per day. So I think this one it's the 1.5, so it's sized for 1,500 gallons a day, which the maximum flow would be 1,200.
I thought it was 660. Am I not
So that's for,
looking at the right?
the nitrogen loading for the property is 660.
Okay.
If there was a site where they were producing 1,500 gallons a day, the fast system would be able to treat that amount.
So, in order to do this, the restaurant is designed for 525 gallons per day, in addition to whatever the other business is. So the total we're looking at is 1145 gallons per day.
Correct.
Is that correct? And the system that you're putting in is capable of 1,500, did you say?
That specific fast treatment unit would be 1,500. The entirety of the system, the 2 leach fields, the tanks, the fast system, 1,190.
1190. So the only part of the old system you're keeping is the leach field, right? So
And the
all
original
of it would be
tank.
processed through the fast.
One apartment and 2 retail spaces will utilize the old septic tank and the old leach field.
Okay.
So you can see that on here, David.
That-
You can see it on here. This is the existing leach field. This is actually the building.
Yeah.
This is this fast system. And then this is
Where's the
three-
fast system?
Right here, this box, I guess.
Oh. Okay.
It's like a pump. And then I don't know which one is the old tank. This says grease trap.
So it's proposed.
Where's the old tank on the plans?
Just off the left side of the building there, in between the building and the existing leach field.
Oh, where it says proposed fast system blower?
So
The left side of the building, kind of up at the top.
So yes, the blower just
Oh, I see it here.
north
right
of
here.
that. Yep.
1,500 gallons.
At least you.
Oh, wow, that's light.
This is the existing.
So the blower on the fast system, is that going to produce an odor?
I don't believe so. I mean, I think the whistle stop has a fast system. I've never smelled anything there. So it does have to be
From the fast
vented.
systems I've been around, I haven't noticed anything, any odor coming from the blower. The blower takes the air and blows it into the tank.
Okay.
And then it is vented.
That it
Yeah,
comes
goes
out
out the
somewhere.
vent.
Is there a vent
Goes-
somewhere?
Yes.
Are the vents filtered? Do we know?
We typically call for a charcoal filter.
Yes.
But, all right.
So then, a reduction from the proposed tank to the building.
So proposed tank to the building.
So this is the proposed septic. Tank to the building.
4.5. So are the requested upgrades marked on the plan somewhere?
On the left side, just above the bed section.
Just above the what? Oh, just above the
Far
bed
left
section?
side,
Oh, okay.
just above the halfway middle point of the.
No,
Type
we
5 variance.
we see the list, but
Yeah,
are they
just-
marked in?
So we can see where.
No. So the proposed septic tank is in the middle of the building. And that's only 4.5 feet off the building.
Okay.
It's supposed to be 10.
And will that be under the parking lot?
Correct. Yeah, everything will be under the parking lot.
Okay.
Same with the grease trap, is 4.5 from 10.
Okay.
Same with the grease trap and the fast tank. They would both be under that 10-foot
This is the fast tank.
Okay.
regulation. Again, same with the tee box and
And
the
then
leach field.
Distribution box.
oh, 8.5. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then and the proposed leach system is. This is existing leach bed. And where would the new be?
Yeah. So we see the existing leach bed. Where's the new leach bed gonna be?
It's the big infiltrator, the hatched area.
Oh, there we go. So that would be under the parking lot?
Right.
Okay.
And those are heavy duty infiltrators.
And then leach system to the street right of way, 5.5. Okay. And then an increase in the nitrogen loading to be greater than 660 per acre.
Okay. So the nitrogen loading limit is 660. What will the
660 per
actual-
acre.
Yeah, what will the actual load be if we approve this system?
1,000 was it?
11.
I think
Actual load would be 1190.
1145.
Yeah.
It's 1145.
okay.
The actual load in the system.
And then a reduction in the minimum daily flow for a restaurant, less than 1,000. Reduction in the minimum?
Yeah, minimum daily.
Yeah.
It says you have to size the system for 1,000
Yeah.
for a restaurant, but they're only going to use 525. And they want permission to use that lower number for sizing.
Which is all on the new system anyway. It's not using
Yeah.
this existing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
I do know they were open to seats in the restaurant if it came down to it. Obviously it's size for 15, so they can't have more than 15, but if 15 was too many, they could go down. But it's only 35 gallons per day per seat, so.
Well,
Do you think that, Steve, do you think that the restaurant is going to cause a significant increase over what the structure would be if it was fully occupied?
I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think the system's going to handle what's being proposed. I mean, like I said, this is probably going to be a better system. That's a fast system in relation to other properties we have on Main Street. It's a fast system. It's about as good a system you can have to treat the effluent.
and I guess too, at the end of the day, we're not approving how many seats can go in the restaurant. It's really the system and planning
it's based on the sizing, which is.
can decide.
How many seats are in the restaurant.
Right, but if the planning board decides that this system shouldn't support 15 seats or,
I think it's our decision about
Yeah.
if the system is adequate or not. So I think, we do want the property to be used. We do want to be friendly to business. I think that this proposal represents a significant upgrade to the current system, and I think that ultimately this is probably more environmentally friendly and health friendly system, even with the proposed increase in use, than what's there today. So I'm going to, if you're ready, I'm going to entertain a motion to approve. It's a long list.
Dave, I don't know if the abutter, you have any questions or concerns?
I just wanna make sure that it's gonna be good, it's gonna hold everything, I'm not gonna have to smell anything. Right next to it, I'm very,
Shouldn't be any problem with the order.
2 feet away, as long as they got enough room to do it, and I'm not gonna have any issues,
Yeah.
Once this is all said and done, I still live there, so I don't wanna.
All the proposed work is in the parking lot area in front of the building.
Okay, so they have enough room to do everything they.
They have room to fit what's been proposed. I think we talked about the odor issue, and if it becomes an issue, certainly this
How about
board.
gutters? Do they have gutters on the building? 'Cause that would help. Isn't the rainwater sometimes when it runs into, a septic or a leach field or,
Well, this is all gonna be under the pavement, so it's all gonna run off. Nothing's gonna,
so no rainwater could, make
No.
it smell or,
no, this will run into the street, anything run off, so it's all pavement as it currently is.
the only other question I have is trash, dumpsters over there. Because we've lived next door for like 46 years, and there's always been just, when anybody had a lot of stuff in there, a ton of garbage all over the place. Back of my property, you mow the lawn, you gotta pick up, a whole bag of garbage before you start. So I'm just curious about dumpsters, fences around them.
Is there a
Part of
fence
all that.
between the property?
Pardon?
Is there a fence between your property and
No.
this property?
No, and when they had a dumpster before, it was just right there, and every time they emptied it, all the stuff went flying out of it. During the pandemic, I went around and I cleaned really good back there, and there was just so much garbage. I don't wanna deal with that, So, that's my only other thing.
Yeah, that's kind of a separate issue from this, what's before the board today. But certainly, improper handling of trash is a health issue, and that's something that you could bring to the board if it's a problem.
Fence
Absolutely.
around the dumpster, just anything to keep it there and not, go into my property. I mean, it's a lot, believe me. I've been there a long time, and I'm tired of it all, picking it all up. No fun.
It might be something for the planning board,
Okay.
because I think that they could probably could put a condition on it that a fence be put in place
That'd be
to
great.
keep whatever is going on the property
Yes.
on the property and not spill over into the neighbor's property. So I keep my eye out for that and definitely bring that to the planning board. Okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to put before the board on this subject?
No, I think kind of covered it all.
Steve, any further comments?
No, I think
Okay.
all is well.
All right. I, Dave Escobar, Vice Chair of the Board of Health of Oxford, will entertain a motion to approve the local upgrade approval requested for 2 Fairlawn Avenue for restaurant design flow of 525 gallons per day as a reduction of off of 1,000 gallons per day for reduction in setback from the septic tank to the slab of 4.5 from 10 feet, a reduction in setback from the grease trap to the slab of the foundation of 5.4 feet from 10 feet, the installation of the fast treatment tank setback from the slab to 4.5 feet from 10 feet, the distribution box setback from the slab to 8.5 feet from 10 feet, and the SAS to the slab foundation of 5 feet from 10 feet, the SAS to the property line of 5.1 feet from 10 feet, and a nitrogen loading greater than 440 gallons per day per acre, as submitted on the plans from McClure Engineering for 2 Fairlawn Ave, Oxford, Mass, received by the Board of Health on July 28th, 2021.
Dina Costa, member, I make the motion as stated.
Dave Esquire, Vice Chair of the Board of Health, second the motion. Any further discussion?
No.
That being the case, I call for the vote.
Yes?
Yes. Your upgrade is approved.
Thank you.
I hope that that business does very well. All right. (26A) Conlin Road is our next order of business.
Dave.
Excuse me, Vice Chair. I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you. Amy, the COVID contact tracing nurse, she has another meeting with the school committee this
Okay.
evening. Would there be a chance that she could just speak on
Yeah,
behalf of
why don't we
that
change
briefly
it?
before?
It's really an update and just to talk about the schools.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna skip forward so that our contact tracing nurse can attend another meeting and look for a COVID update.
Yes, so I believe Kathy Schomer had sent some information over in regards to our numbers. They are increasing. I'm sure everybody knows that they're kind of going up right now. We're about 20 cases, active cases in town. We're up to about 1,250, so 1,250 cases total.
Active or
Active, no,
20
about
active
20 active in total.
1,250 for the whole,
Yeah.
the whole pandemic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have seen an increase just recently in if you're comparing it to last summer, it's significantly bigger. So last August at this time we had 2 cases. So we're up to about 20 now. We have mostly family members, continues to be household. We have some breakthrough cases with fully vaccinated people, and we have weddings, out of state, out of country travel, things like that. But for the most part, family households are the most common transmitting. Just recently, there's been right now, DESE, Department of Education, has strongly recommended masks in the schools, and I'll be going to the school committee meeting from here, and that'll be a discussion, and I'm sure at some point we'll be, seeking, if we don't get a mandate from the state or a mandate from DESE, we'll certainly weigh in with the Board of Health on that.
When do they go back to school?
August 30th, I believe. No, actually, I'm sorry, that's when staff goes back, September 1st. I know that there's a meeting on August 23rd. School committee, I believe if we don't have guidance at that point, we'll be gaining some that day.
Okay.
All right, so if anybody has any input, you're certainly welcome to reach out, but we'll be in communication with the Board of Health anyway. Do you have any questions about COVID, schools?
Not so much a question. I guess. Well, I'm not going to ask you to predict the future, but yeah, I hope the school committee is is seriously considering the uptick in infections and the infections in people who are fully vaccinated. That obviously we're seeing a substantial surge. So
Yeah, we are seeing that, and you know, as people get vaccinated, you know, we'll see how that goes. Our numbers, you know, we're about 50% in the town. The high school students are, you know, 12 to 15. That population, we have about 30% fully vaccinated, and the 16 to 19-year-olds about 50%. I anticipate once it's FDA approved, perhaps more people will be doing that, will be getting vaccinated. But, you know, beyond those numbers, the 75 plus, the 65 to 74, those numbers are great. So our town is doing well in terms of our elderly population. They're at about 90% for the 75 and up, and for the 65 to 74. So we're also discussing a COVID vaccine clinic, a mobile vaccine clinic, to come to the school. And you know, we sent out a survey and basically asked, is there any students or staff that would like to be vaccinated? And we'll be extending it to household family members that are eligible and would like to be vaccinated as well. So that'll be funded by the state.
yeah, when do you think you'll have that feedback?
Well, we're getting it now. We're gaining, and there's not a whole lot, but you know, the way we thought a bit about it was, even if it's 5 people, 10 people, anybody that wants to get vaccinated, if they don't have access or if it's not convenient, they can't. At least we can provide that, and we can, maybe it's a transportation issue for students or for their families. So we'd be providing transportation as well. So. Awesome. So that's what I have.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for the update.
All right, no problem.
Thanks for the update.
Thanks.
Do we have a,
There's a meeting in here at 6:30.
6:30? Okay. Do we have a plan for 26A Conlin Road? I don't seem to have it here.
Brandon's up there, I put that over there, Dave. Should be within those.
I have a copy here.
Seem to have it. 18 Ballard Street, 18 to 16.
Right there?
Is that it?
And another one.
Another one, unfortunately. This one was unexpected, but as you can see up on the, we highlighted everything in red. We had designed for 26A. It was a filling system, and they're the process of selling the house. There was a discrepancy in the scale on the plan. The contractor went out and installed the system, and McClure went out to do a as-built of it. We determined that the system was not installed, not in the spot that we had, requested.
Okay.
And it was installed 76 feet away from the private water supply well. So we're here looking for a local upgrade request for that offset to the private water supply well, so that the contractor doesn't have to rip this system out.
This is in code where it was.
This was the original proposed.
proposed.
This is where it ended up. Has the grading been changed to,
We did,
To match
first did
what-
go back out with Steve to do a soil test in this area to ensure that the, we did have the 4 feet of separation to groundwater there. The grading, it's, the only way it's been changed would be to, level off that area there.
yeah, that's what I would expect because
Yeah.
it was almost seems like a raised system here.
Right, groundwater in the original location was at about 3 feet. We did a test pit at the highest point of the installed system and found it at 4 feet. So they were fortunate in order to maintain separation of groundwater, but it is somewhat of a raised
So
system.
the normal offset is 100 feet from a well?
Correct.
The system, the grading that you see around the proposed system would be, to create that slope to meet the existing grades.
And Steve, you reviewed this?
Yeah, yes.
Approve. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any further questions. How about you?
Nope.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve for a local upgrade approval, reduction in setback from the well from 100 feet to 76 feet as proposed on the as-built plan from McClure Engineering for 26A Common Road, Oxford, Mass. Received by the Board of Health, July 28th, 2021.
Dina Costa, member. I make the motion as stated, and also recommend that the homeowners consider some baseline well water testing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because of the setback. Okay. So I'll amend the motion to approve the local upgrade as previously stated for 76 feet and to include a recommendation that the homeowners test their well to ensure that it's in good condition. Remake the motion.
Okay. Dina Costa, member. Make the motion as stated.
Dave Escobar, Vice Chair, second the motion. Any further discussion?
No.
That being the case, I'll call for the vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So a Title V scan would be appropriate for the well water, Title V scan.
What does that include?
Yeah, water quality associated with Title V scan, so we, typically do those.
I mean, we
situations.
can't require it.
It's a recommendation.
Okay,
Just
recommendation.
recommend it to the
Sure.
homeowner.
All right, well, thank you very much. Next time we come
Thank
in,
you.
we'll
Thank you for
make
coming.
something really easy.
It makes a big difference to us to have the engineer here to answer our questions, so we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. As we are out of time, I'll entertain a motion to close the Board of Health meeting at 6:25 on August the 9th.
Dina Costa, member. I make the motion as stated.
Dave Escobar, Vice Chair. I second the motion. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Call for the vote.
Yes.
Yes.